What if the most dangerous person in any royal scandal isn't the one screaming headlines, but the one who knows how to smile and whisper? The walls of Montecito just shook. And this time, it wasn't from an earthquake. It wasn't a Netflix crew or a botched PR launch. This was different. This was personal. This was a tremor sent across an ocean. A shockwave of calculated revenge delivered not by a tabloid, but by a Duchess. Sarah Ferguson, Fergie, just shattered Meghan Markle's carefully controlled world with a single sly sentence, and she did it with a smile. This isn't gossip. This is a masterclass. A brutal, elegant lesson in royal warfare taught by the woman they wrote off for decades. She didn't need a manifesto. She didn't need leaked documents. All she needed was for words and perfect timing. Whispers about a certain yacht summer. Let that detonate in your mind. Let it really sink in, because with that one phrase, Fergie didn't just tell a story. She unlocked a vault. She pointed the entire ravenous internet toward the one chapter Meghan Markle spent a lifetime trying to burn. The pre-royal years. The climb. The network. The yacht summers. This is the story of how a forgotten duchess weaponized memory. How a smile can be a scalpel. And how the past doesn't just come back to haunt you, it comes back to rewrite you. Act I. The smile that broke the internet. It was supposed to be a soft focus interview. Another stop on Fergie's redemption tour. She was talking about healing. About forgiveness. About moving on. The vibe was mellow, safe. Then the interviewer said the name. Meghan Markle. The air shifted. People in the room saw it. Fergie's expression didn't harden. It softened. A knowing, almost pitying smile crept across her face. Oh, Meghan, she sighed, savoring the syllable. Well, let's just say she's not the first young woman fascinated by royal life. Or the perks that come with it. The interviewer chuckled. A cheeky Fergieism, right? Fergie didn't laugh. Her smile stayed. A dagger wrapped in silk. She leaned in. The camera caught the glint. I remember years ago. Whispers about a certain yacht summer. You know, those glamorous trips where everyone's playing dress up. Chasing attention. Hoping someone important is watching. She paused. Letting the silence scream. Some of those faces, she whispered, ended up in very unexpected places. Even the royal world. Cue the global gasp. The interviewer's eyes went wide. The clip was barely uploaded before the internet exploded. Twitter erupted. TikTok timelines fractured. The hashtag yacht summer started trending like a wildfire. Because everyone knew. Anyone who'd ever dug into the pre-Duchess era knew exactly what Fergie was talking about. The early 2000s, the Mediterranean, Monaco, Greece, luxury yachts longer than city blocks. Champagne towers under a blistering sun. A curated mix of billionaire investors, aging producers, and beautiful, ambitious young hopefuls from Hollywood and modeling, a networking circuit on the open sea. And according to whispers, photos, and buried blog posts, a young, striving actress named Meghan Markle was there, playing the game, working the room. Fergie didn't accuse. She didn't condemn. She alluded. And in the world of scandal, illusion is atomic. It lets people's imaginations build the prison for you. Back in Montecito, sources say Meghan's phone melted. Her calm, curated California life ruptured. This wasn't an attack from the Daily Mail. This was an ambush from inside the family. From someone who was supposed to understand the rules. The betrayal was volcanic. But the genius was just beginning. Act 2. The ghost in the photo album. What did Fergie actually unleash? Let's talk about those yacht summers. This wasn't spring break. This was the apex of strategic glamour. Invitations were tighter than a royal diary. Guest lists were human chessboards. You didn't get a +1. You got vetted. Picture it, the gleaming deck. The quiet hum of unimaginable wealth. Aspiring actresses mixing with media moguls. Models making eye contact with venture capitalists. Every conversation was an audition. Every smile was an investment. The goal? Access a name. A number, a door cracked open that could lead to a script, a role. A connection that changed everything. And for a brief, sun-drenched window in the mid-2000s, evidence suggests Meghan navigated these waters. Physically and socially. Old, grainy photos resurfaced. Not tabloid paparazzi shots. Candid snaps from forgotten blogs. A woman in a wide-brimmed hat, laughing on a yacht named Serenity. Another in a sarong, looking out at the Greek coast. The face was younger. The hair different. But the recognition was instant. Internet detectives, once unleashed, are terrifying. They found archived party guest lists. They cross-referenced dates with Meghan's known travel timelines. They connected dots to billionaire financiers, to European socialites, to a web of connections that stretched into very, very high places. The narrative wasn't about wrongdoing. It was about calculation. And that was Fergie's real target. Meghan's entire brand was built on a fairy tale. The serendipitous meeting. The innocent love. the outsider thrust into the spotlight. It was a story of accident, not ambition, but Yacht Summers? That's a story of strategy, of hustle, of a woman intelligently, ruthlessly mapping her ascent through the most exclusive tiers of global society. It's the story of a climber, not a Cinderella, and for the fairy tale to hold, that climber can't exist, Fergie knew it. With one comment, she forced the world to see the blueprint behind the magic. Act 3, The Art of the Silent Warriors, where Fergie moved from clever to ruthless. After the interview, total silence. No follow-ups, no clarifications, no tearful apologies or fiery denials, just radio silence. A magnificent, calculated void. She dropped the grenade and walked away. No fingerprints. Meanwhile, paparazzi caught her outside a London hotel. Someone yelled a question about Yacht Summer. Fergie stopped, turned, that same serene smile though. Darling, she purred to the cameras. I don't tell tales. I just remind people that every fairy tale starts somewhere. Mic drop. War declared. The line detonated across the planet. She wasn't backing down. She was doubling down with poetry. In Montecito, the meltdown was reportedly epic. Meghan was trapped. How do you fight a ghost? How do you sue a smile? How do you refute a rumor that was never explicitly stated? If she ignored it, the speculation would solidify into fact. If she addressed it, she'd give the story eternal oxygen. If she attacked Fergie, she'd look paranoid. Bullying a cheeky older woman who was just sharing memories, it was a checkmate in 3 moves. A masterclass in plausible deniability. But why? Why now? What was this really about? The answer lies in a wedding. October 2018, Princess Eugenie's big day. Her moment. Her spotlight after a lifetime in her cousin's shadows. And what happened? Days later, the world learned Meghan was pregnant. The headlines pivoted. The spotlight swung. Eugenie's wedding was suddenly a footnote to the Sussex baby news. An unwritten rule of tight families was broken. You don't steal the thunder. Sources say Fergie never forgot. She swallowed the fury then. She smiled for the cameras. But a mother's grudge doesn't expire. It incubates. For years, she watched Meghan control narratives, play the victim, and build an empire on the bones of the institution that once scorned her. And Fergie waited. She learned. She survived her own scandals by studying the game, and in 2025, she saw her opening. Not with a shout, but with a whisper. This wasn't just revenge. It was reclamation. A reminder that Sarah Ferguson, the so-called disgraced Duchess, was still here. And she knew how to play this game better than anyone. Act 4, The unraveling aftermath, was a digital hurricane. The internet did what Fergie knew it would. It became her army. Deep dives, photo forensics, timeline analyses. YouTube documentaries titled The Yacht Girl to Duchess Pipeline racked up millions of views. Comment sections became battlegrounds. She's a hustler, I respect it. So the fairy tale was a business plan? This is just misogyny attacking a woman for networking. The debate was the point. Fergie had successfully reframed Meghan Markle. The brand of authentic truth-teller now had a crack. People saw strategy where they once saw sincerity. They saw calculation where they saw romance. The commercial fallout was immediate. Brand deals got shaky. Netflix executives were reportedly reevaluating. Controversy is a toxin for partnerships. Meghan's team scrambled. They pushed narratives of misogyny. They painted Fergie as bitter, jealous, irrelevant. But it felt hollow, defensive, because Fergie wasn't acting bitter. She was acting amused. She'd won without ever breaking a sweat. The royal family, of course, said nothing. Their silence was deafening approval. They let Fergie, the ultimate outsider insider, do the dirty work they never could. She was their perfectly deniable weapon, and Fergie? She was winning her own redemption arc. The public saw her anew not as a messy liability, but as a resilient, strategic survivor. A queen of the long game. So what's more shocking? The details of a yacht party a decade ago? Or the cold, brilliant precision of a revenge served 6 years cold? Do you side with the Duchess controlling her narrative? Or the Duchess who proved no narrative is ever truly safe? Act 5, The Forever Asterisk. This is the real damage. The lasting scar. Fergie didn't just create a scandal. She installed a permanent asterisk next to Meghan Markle's name. Forever now, the fairy tale will have a footnote, the woman who married a prince and summered on billionaires' yachts. Every future interview, every project, every claim to authenticity will be filtered through that lens. The yacht summer is now part of her story. A shadow in the spotlight. Fergie proved that in the digital age, you don't need to win in court. You just need to win in the collective memory. Plant a seed of doubt, water it with ambiguity, and let the public grow the poison tree themselves. She reminded us all, the past isn't a book you can close. It's a ghost. And sometimes, all it takes is one person to turn on the light. Meghan Markle built an empire on escaping the palace. But she just learned you can never outrun a ghost from your past, especially when that ghost is a duchess with a smile and a score to settle. So what happens next? Does Meghan launch a counteroffensive? Does she finally tell her version of those summers? Or does she let this shadow forever darken her sunny California brand? This is the debate. This is the real throne room. Comment below, was Fergie's move a justified strike back or a cruel below-the-belt ambush?